Welcome to my spoiler review of The Lost Metal. Thank you for clicking on my face, I do appreciate it. Like I said, this is a spoiler-free review of The Lost Metal, so if you haven't read it yet or you're only partway through, you're welcome to continue listening and hear my non-spoiler thoughts. I was actually really surprised because some of the people who got the books first and released spoiler-free reviews early had really mixed feelings about the book, and I honestly loved it. I don't consider it a spoiler that Sanderson said that he really wanted to do more Cosmere connections in this book, so
Lost Metal is the most crossover that we've seen, and I hope it's not too far.
Specifically addressing the Cosmere connections, I don't think it was too bad. I would definitely have a set of books that I would recommend to a friend to read before reading The Lost Metal, but if they didn't and just read through The Lost Metal anyways without any other background or any other Cosmere books under their belt, I think they'd be okay, and I think they'd still have a great time. The pacing is something that I've heard a lot of people praise, and they're correct. It's fantastic. Wall-to-wall action. The slowest scenes are probably the scenes with Steris. Even with her, we get some really great character work that builds upon what happened with her in the Bands of Mourning. But it's not just Steris, all the characters have pretty great character arcs. The one weak character arc, I think, that I was probably the least invested in out of our main four, the main four being Wax, Marasi, Steris, and Wayne, would be Wax. I feel like he kind of came to his conclusion at the end of Bands of Mourning, and The Lost Metal doesn't really do a lot to take him past where we last left him in the Bands of Mourning. I would say that Wayne is probably the heart of the book. Brandon goes really deep into his psychology, and a lot of people I think are saying that he's the standout of the book, myself included. Marasi's character arc is really nuanced as well. I think Steris, Wayne, and Marasi all have great and incredible arcs that are very nuanced, and you could spend a lot of time just talking about their character growth and progression and how they've changed as people. But really, this book, it just is bigger than the other books in the Wax and Wayne series.
There's always a bigger fish.
Some of that comes with the Cosmere connections that Brandon Sanderson had teased, but other than that, just even if you cut out all the Cosmere connections, it just takes everything to a bigger level. The threat level is higher, the character drama is higher, the action is faster paced. This book has some really profound thoughts and profound messages to give while also being very, very entertaining. It reminds me of those really rare action movies that are just so much fun, but they're more than a popcorn film. They transcend the genre and they actually give you something special. Movies like Logan or Captain America: The Winter Soldier. You get all the fun, you also get some great character work that is just very praiseworthy. I still need to wait for my recency bias to probably go down a little bit, but right now, this might be my favorite Cosmere book. So yeah, I was filming really fast and I definitely misspoke there. It's not my favorite Cosmere book for sure, but it really might be my favorite Mistborn book. That's what I meant to say. It's definitely my favorite Mistborn Era 2 book. It also might even beat Mistborn Era 1, I'm not sure yet. I've also seen quite a few people reviewing this book that have said they weren't huge on the Wax and Wayne series, and they read this book and it completely flipped everything for them and the rest of the series got better for them. I think it does complement the rest of the series, and you can appreciate the arcs and where people started to where they're finishing their conclusions. So I think I can agree that it did elevate it. I loved it from the beginning though. I do think that The Lost Metal is the best of the four books in my opinion, at the very least the most entertaining, and I don't see how you can make an argument that the character work is better in the other three. The only other Cosmere scene that I can really say that like hit me as hard, not because the scenes were similar or anything, but just the way that it hit me emotionally, was when Kaladin, when I first read about Kaladin holding Tien on the battlefield when he was just a young boy. That was a gut punch, and I'm not gonna say that it was a gut punch, but someone's character arc, the way that they changed and grew, was just as powerful to me in The Lost Metal. Hopefully, if you haven't already committed to reading this book, I was able to convince you to give it a shot. Thanks and have a good one, bye!